This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV. I'm Derek Gilbert with 5 things you need to know for this Wednesday, August 28th, 2024. Item number 5 today, human shields. You know that Israel preempted a massive Hezbollah attack on Sunday, destroying most of the 6,000 rockets and UAVs that had been primed for launch against the Jewish state. Now we know from the IDF that nearly all of those rockets and drones that were being readied to attack Israel Sunday morning were about to be launched from civilian neighborhoods. According to the IDF, in a release Monday night, out of the 230 rockets and 20 UAVs that did get away and crossed over into Israeli territory, 90% of those were from the heart of a civilian area. The Army provided this infographic showing sites of rocket launchers in southern Lebanon, about 500 feet away from a school and a mosque in the village of Toulousa, one placed about 525 feet from a United Nations building in the Hanaya area with dozens of other buildings nearby. This is par for the course for Hezbollah and for Hamas in Gaza. They use the civilians around them as human shields. For them, civilian casualties are a feature, not a bug, which is what makes this war so distasteful and so difficult for Israel. Topic number 4, the border. She was apparently against the wall before she was for it. Kamala Harris, vice president, presidential candidate now, after presiding over one of the worst the worst immigration crisis in American history as the border czar, Kamala Harris now pledges to spend hundreds of millions of dollars to build a wall at the southern U.S. border. Now, under President Trump, we were in the process of spending tens of billions, which is cheaper than the amount of social services that we spend on new arrivals every year. But anyway, you might be old enough to remember that during that administration, then Senator Kamala Harris calling his plan to build a wall un-American and I quote now, a stupid use of money. So what has changed? Well, Ms. Harris realizes that opposing rampant immigration, wide open borders, is a winning political strategy. So she has adopted this. Now, we expect politicians to say what they think audiences want to hear. The whole point of getting elected is so that you can implement the policies that you favor. The problem with Kamala Harris is that she is flipping on so many policies that it's impossible to know exactly what she stands for, which is part of the reason she's avoiding journalists like the plague. She has yet to sit down with a journalist for an interview, although she said she would before the end of August. Still nothing on her schedule. For her campaign, like Joe Biden in 2020, running from his basement, avoiding the media and letting people guess at what she believes in is a feature, not a bug. As we said yesterday, more than 3/4 of Democratic voters who cast ballots for Joe Biden 4 years ago, don't know what her policies are. Topic number 3, speaking of flip-flops, Michigan, the state of Michigan is not letting Robert F. Kennedy Jr. off the ballot in November. You remember when Kennedy on Friday suspended his campaign and endorsed Donald Trump? He said he was going to withdraw from the ballots in swing states where his presence there might draw enough votes away from Donald Trump to push those states into the electoral column for Kamala Harris and send her to the White House, which is something he does not want to see happen. Well, the state of Michigan now is saying it's too late for Kennedy to take his name off the ballot, so he's going to have to run as an independent in Michigan anyway. Now, bear in mind, this is just 2 months after the Democratic National Committee sued to keep Kennedy off the ballot in Michigan because they didn't want him potentially drawing votes away from, at the time, Joe Biden. But now they say he's got to stay. This is according to a press release. Press secretary for the Michigan Secretary of State, Jocelyn Benson, quote, minor parties candidates cannot withdraw, so his name will remain on the ballot in the November election, end quote. Does it surprise you that Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson is a Democrat? It should not surprise you. Topic number 2, the U.S. military. Problems with recruitment. We are running out of people to staff our warships. The Navy is reportedly going to sideline 17 vessels due to a manpower shortage, or person power shortage in today's Navy, I suppose, makes it difficult to properly crew and operate ships across the fleet. There aren't enough merchant marines. That's the problem. You see, when a warship is away from port for 12 months out of the year, you've got to have a second ship crewed by a second crew to bring supplies and relief personnel and so forth to keep that ship at sea. Merchant Marines operate the support vessels needed to keep the Navy running, and if you don't have enough Merchant Marines, well, you can't keep as many ships away from port. So, the Military Sealift Command has drafted a plan to put 17 ships into extended maintenance, which is a nice way of saying dry dock, basically. This effort is known as the Great Reset. Interesting choice of the term. Great Reset. It's awaiting approval from the Chief of Naval Operations, Admiral Lisa Franchetti. Meanwhile, a U.S. District Court judge has ruled that the military cannot discriminate against people with HIV who want to join the military. HIV, that's the virus that causes AIDS. And apparently, if you want to volunteer and you've got HIV, this is not a reason, according to the judge, to keep you out of the military. Now, for reference, here are a short list of medical conditions that can disqualify you from military service in the United States. Allergies, color blindness, missing teeth, asthma, 2 or more concussions in the last 12 months, ADD, attention deficit disorder, and psoriasis. But HIV, no problem, according to the judge. This is not likely to help the recruiting problem. Since 2013, male enlistments for the U.S. Army have dropped by 35%, and somehow I don't think this ruling is going to have them lining up outside recruiting offices. Coming up, from chicken strips to streaming flicks, Chick-fil-a getting into the entertainment business. That's next on 5 and 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can easily and conveniently stream this incredible new film, Void Earth Cataclysm Before Genesis, right now at skywatchtv.com/stream or on the mobile app for immediate access. However, if you'd like to receive your own hard copy on DVD, Skywatch TV is proud to announce the Void Earth Ultra Collection. When you order this exclusive collection from the Skywatch TV store, you'll receive the brand new documentary from Defender Investigative Films, Void Earth Cataclysm Before Genesis, along with Dr. Thomas Horn and Reverend Donna Howell's best-selling book, Before Genesis, The Unauthorized History of Tohu, Bohu, and the Chaos Dragon in the Land Before Time. These powerful works present astounding revelations like no other, taken directly from the Word of God, the conclusion to the events of Genesis that merges all contributing voices from not only the young and old creationist groups, but the scientific community as well into one balanced and agreeable climax. They reveal precisely how ancient archaeological sites like Göbekli Tepe and the Doorway of the Serpent point irrefutably to an intelligent race of beings here on Earth thriving before the time of Adam and under Lucifer's fallen dominion. They pull back the veil on exactly what the Earth was like during the without form and void era of Genesis 1-2, and so much more, featuring Dr. Michael Lake, Derek Gilbert, Reverend Donna Howell, Gary Stearman, and the late Dr. Thomas Horn in what would become his last documentary appearance ever. But that's not all. You'll also receive 315, The Genesis of All Prophecy by the legendary Rabbi Eric Walker. This prophetic, convicting, and heart-rending book exposes anti-Semitism as Satan's plan to eliminate the Jews and the catastrophic consequences the world will face if this agenda succeeds. Sold separately, all of these items hold a retail value of $75. Yours now for your donation of only $45, which includes free shipping to all U.S. orders. So don't delay. You can scan the QR code on your screen using the camera app on your phone for instant access to this special opportunity. You can also visit us at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985 and ask for the Void Earth Ultra Collection now.
Item number 1 today, Chick-fil-A reportedly looking into creating its own entertainment service, a streaming content service. Why not? It's reportedly in conversation with a number of major production companies, including studios that make family-friendly content. We can certainly use more of that. Late last year, Chick-fil-A reportedly listed a job opening for an entertainment producer. The job listing stating, quote, "We are looking to produce original entertainment not necessarily about Chick-fil-A products or the Chick-fil-A brand," end quote. It's worth noting that Chick-fil-A chairman Dan Cathy is a majority owner of Trilith Studios, which is the largest production facility in the state of Georgia. No word on whether this rumored Chick-fil-A streaming service would be operating on Sundays, however. We'll have to wait and see. This week on Skywatch TV, we're talking about the launch of a new program, The Donna Howell Show, and the return of Return to Eden. Our program on health, nutrition, wellness, important. If you don't feel well, you can't really be effective in serving our King. Donna Howell, well, you know her by now. She is brilliant, and she's got a lot of things to say. So don't miss these. These programs available right now at the Skywatch TV app, both for mobile devices and for Roku and Apple TV. Talk more about that in just a moment. But first of all, how to get this week's program. You can watch it right now at our website, skywatchtv.com. All of our video content is always at the website. You can also watch it over the air. Our broadcast schedule's posted, skywatchtv.com/channels. Now, if you've got a set-top box like Roku or Apple TV, soon Fire TV, Google TV, Android TV, we're trying to get onto all of those, but if you got Roku and Apple TV for sure, get the Skywatch TV channel installed on your box. All of our video content is there, but better yet, get our free mobile app. Add that to your smartphone or tablet. You can download the content right to your mobile device, bypassing the gatekeepers of big tech and making sure we never get canceled. It's got other features as well, like an audio Bible with multiple translations, calendar of upcoming events, even a link to our streaming video site, and a link to donate if you are so led. All of that in the palm of your hand, whether it's iOS, Android, or Amazon Kindle Fire, and we have links to their app stores at the website, skywatchtv.com. In November, Sharon and I planning another solidarity mission to Israel, November 6th through 13th. And of course, a lot depends on what happens in that part of the world in the next few weeks. You probably noted a lot of airlines have canceled flights to Israel for the time being, but we're still planning to go ahead. We'll have the latest information at our website, gilberthouse.org/travel. We plan to visit sites that were attacked by Hamas last October. Sites like the Nova Music Festival, the town of Sderot, which was site of a fierce battle around the police station there, which, well, again, our trip in the spring was the most powerful of the 4 visits we've made to Israel. If you're interested in joining us, a small group, maybe a dozen people, just to see with your own eyes what has happened there and what Israel is contending with now, find out more at gilberthouse.org/travel. Follow 5 in 10 online, youtube.com/@5in10 or X, formerly Twitter, @5_in_10. And thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert. This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV.